Manchester United midfielder Fred proved Erik ten Hag right against Tottenham. Fred scored the opening goal in Man United's 2-0 win over Spurs on Wednesday night. When Manchester United announced their team to face off against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford on Wednesday night, it would be fair to say that several supporters were nervous about the midfield. With Christian Eriksen still recovering from illness, and only able to make the bench, Erik ten Hag opted for a trio of Fred, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro has demonstrated his quality since his summer switch from Real Madrid, and is starting to find his feet in England. Similarly, Fernandes has been in good form so far this term, and while he hasn't registered the goal contributions he would have hoped for, the Portuguese international can be pleased with his showings. In the absence of Eriksen, it was Fred who was called up to the side. Having made just 3 starts prior to the 2-0 win over Antonio Conte's side, the Brazilian was under pressure to come in and deliver. Fred, who is out of contract at the end of the current season, has experienced somewhat of a rollercoaster career at Old Trafford since joining from Shakhtar Donetsk in 2018. The midfielder has enjoyed plenty of highs, but has also endured a number of lows, particularly during last campaign. With the Reds adding reinforcements in the center of the park in the summer, while also chasing Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona, it appeared as though Fred's time in Manchester was coming to a gradual end. And yet, with ten Hag unable to convince de Jong to leave the Camp Nou, and Eriksen unable to start from the beginning, there was an open spot in midfield against Spurs on Wednesday night, and it was the Brazilian who was handed the opportunity. Ten Hag, speaking during United's preseason tour in July, suggested that he had been impressed with what he had seen from Fred, but insisted that the 29-year-old could continue to improve. In the moment he is playing in the role as connector, defending to offense. He is playing the role quite well. I am satisfied with his performance, with his improvement, said ten Hag. I think he can even be better. I will support him in that. He also brings energy in the team by his attitude. Against Spurs, United fans, some would say, finally, saw the absolute best of Fred, and the midfielder delivered an combative, but equally elegant, performance against the London club. While it has certainly not been the start to the season that he would have wanted, he showed that ten Hag was right to back him 3 months ago, and proved that he still has something to offer. His finish took a deflection and bounced helplessly past Hugo Lloris in the Spurs goal, but the most impressive aspect was his desire and determination to get into a goal-scoring position. He has, in some ways, been unfairly categorized as solely a defensive midfielder, but he showed that he can deliver going forward, too. Evidently, Fred is not the player that United will start to rely on to consistently find the back of the net, but it would certainly help if, when he plays, he can chip in with a goal every now and then. Fred, also speaking during the Reds' preseason campaign, suggested that he may be used to help generate attacks this season, rather than be the player to get goals and assists. Speaking to club media during United's Australia leg of the summer tour, the 29-year-old explained how his role could differ to that of last term. He said, "Last season, I played a bit further forward under Ralph Rangnick. He gave me a bit more freedom to get in the box to score an assist. We'll see what Erik asks of me now. He may want me more in the build-up of play." The Brazilian insisted that his main aim is to support the team, whatever role he is required to carry out, even if that means being the piano carrier, the player who does the dirty work in order for the artists to shine. As I just said, regardless of scoring, I want to help my teammates, he added. I want to carry the piano on the pitch for them to score and help the team. The most important thing is that we achieve our goals to take us as far as possible. His performance against Conte's side demonstrated that he can do both. It is important that United allow Fred to do what he is good at, which, by his own admission, is helping other players to shine, but it is equally crucial that the midfielder is given the license to support his teammates with contributions on the scoresheet. Fred's strike on Wednesday night was his first goal contribution of the season so far, and it came while he was operating as a defensive midfielder. The presence of Casemiro was important in his countryman being able to get forward, and was a perfect demonstration about what the former Los Blancos man brings to a team. Out of all the players whose deals expire at the end of the campaign, Fred is, arguably, one of the first team stars under the most pressure to deliver in the coming months. While some of his teammates are expected to be offered new contracts, it remains to be seen if the Brazilian will be handed one. Should Fred continue to perform like he did in midweek, the Reds will almost certainly renew his deal. While his United career is yet to really take off, the backing he has received from his manager has provided him with a platform to succeed. He just has to take his opportunity when it comes his way. Subscribe to my YouTube channel MUFC Hot Sports for more information about Manchester United.